friends, it's Kelly here with Kelly Crafts It All. Happy Thursday. Good morning. It's morning here as I'm making this video. I thought I would bring you a tutorial that will show you how to maybe give a lip balm away, you know, or gift a lip balm, or if you're doing a swap or a birthday gift, or you know, whatever, or just maybe have a great friend and you want to give her a little gift, and here you go. So I made it with this little gift box that looks like a tube of lipstick, and inside there's just a little Velcro dot and it pops off real easy. You slide that open and you have a little chapstick in there. So I thought I would bring that to you and show you. Now I put a little filler paper in there to keep it from rattling around. You don't have to, it's up to you. But I thought we would go and make one of these because there's no dies, there's no cutting machine. We're going to make this all by hand. So let's get started. So how did I make such a thing? Well, let's see. First off, let's make our the top here, the little lipstick part, because it needs time to dry and we can work on other things while it's drying. You need a scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, get you a ruler and, you know, do it the old-fashioned way. You're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 3.5 by 2 3/4. And it can be any color of your choice. It could be glitter paper, mirrored paper, just plain paper. It really doesn't matter. And we're going to lay this. I'm going to score mine with my glitter side down. Now, this glitter paper, I kind of like made it up. Dollar Tree has these rolls of vinyl. Now, they're not the best for vinyling, you know, if you're going to cut it on your Cricut or whatever. The only way I've found out that I can cut that is on the washi paper setting and using a dull blade. I put a new blade in and it cuts right through. It has to be one of my really old dull blades. That's the only way I can cut it without it messing it up. But for a, you know, $1.25, you get a whole, I think it's 12 by, I don't remember, 12 by, it's right here, this is it right here, the vinyl. It's 12 inches by 48 inches. So you get a good bit for $1.25. And you can, what I do is I just cut squares of it off for as much as I need. And then I just unsticky it and stick it to some cardstock and make glitter cardstock. Then I can make it as big as I need or as small as I need. So let's get started on this. This is, like I said, 3.5 by 2 3/4. We're going to lay this on the 3.5 inch side. We're going to score it every 1/2 inch. So at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. So you'll have that. And that's why if I score on this, it kind of pulls it and tears it. I have better luck scoring it this way. Okay, once we get this scored, you're going to have 7 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one we're going to consider as our tab. And you can write it on there if you want, but I'm just going to make that as my tab. So I'm going to count over 1 score line, 2 score lines, 3. And I'm going to fold that in half right there. And just pretend that that tab don't exist. So I've got it folded in half, okay? I'm going to lay this on my scoreboard, and we need to cut to this tip. So I'm going to lay this in my scoreboard, and I'm just going to make a little tick mark at about 1/2 inch. So I'm laying it with that tab up. I'm making just a little mark. Now you can measure, draw a line and cut, whatever, or you can just eyeball it. I'm just going from that tick mark to that tip. So, from the tab to the tip. And that's going to look just like that. It's going to look odd, and don't worry, we're going to fix it. Now, with that edge cut, I'm going to lay mine. I have a line. That's why I have a line here on my 6-inch. It doesn't matter. You can line it up on any one. It doesn't make a difference. And I'm going to line that cut edge on my line. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. But I'm going to just measure out 1/2 inch. So I'm on my 6. I'm going to go to 5.5. And I'm leaving it folded. And I'm just going to make a score line. And if it doesn't score good on the other side, you can go back over it and, you know, score it again. So we have that. Now, while we have this, we're going to lay this back in our scoreboard. And on the side that's not cut, the flat edge, we're going to go down here, we're going to score 1/2 inch. Like so. And you're also going to need like an extra little piece of your, whatever you're using to make the lipstick part. You need a little piece for the top. So now that you've got all your score lines, you can go ahead and fold those. It makes it a little easier to see. Okay, so this mark here, this part that I have marked tab, I'm going to get my scissors, and there's a score line that's diagonal. I'm just going to cut up to that next score line. And then you have this down here, there's a little square, and I'm going to cut that square out. And then you can angle that off if you'd like. And now I'm going to cut up each one of these score lines. Should have 6 of them left. 1, 2, 3, or 5, I should say. So you have 6 tabs. Now on this side here where we cut and we've got that score line at 1/2 inch, you want to cut up just to the score line. Don't cut past it. Cut just even a little bit shy away from it. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to, you know, right to that score line. I'm not going past it. Try not to. I'm trying to stay away from it. Just like that. Now, since we have these, you might want to go ahead and cut them like little triangles out of there. You have it. You can just cut little triangles out. There it goes. And that'll just give you room to, now these middle ones I'm going to really kind of angle them out to give my little lipstick room to fold. So we're just a little like this here. Oh, and this one, this end one here, you cut that off. There we go. So you should have something that looks like that. So all we're going to do is just, you know, pull everything down. That tab, fold these up. Now you can use glue or double-sided tape, whatever suits your fancy. I'm just going to use a little double-sided tape here, and I'm going to lay it where that tab is. If you don't like that tab that long, you can trim it down even more. But I'm going to lay it closest to that fold line. I'm going to fold over my tab. I'm going to lay it as close to that edge as I can get it. And I'm going to burnish it down here. I'm going to take that off, and I'm just going to bring this end right up to it. Burnish it down and open it up, and you're going, lady, that looks nothing like lipstick. Well, let's hold on a minute. Now, if yours is hanging over your edge a little bit, and mine is, you can always go in here and kind of trim it up a little bit so that white edge isn't showing as bad, or if you have maybe some ink that's kind of the color of your paper, because that's going to be in the front. There's no way around it. Now you're just going to fold these tabs in, and you're going to make your lipstick shape however you want to shape it. If you want it more round, or if you want it more oblong, it's up to you. The bottom ones are going to go in, so it's, you know, a six-sided shape. So if you go in here and kind of straighten up your ends, and kind of get it its shape as best as you can. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. It's just to be a little gift box, and then you can, you know, put those down. So what I like to do is I like to just, the wet glue just doesn't like to stick too good to this glitter as well as I'd like it to, but just going on the inside of these tabs. Put some glue, and then I'm going to kind of fold these up, get the shape I want, or if you want to use some hot glue, you can, because this takes a minute to hold, to grab. So I have mine like that, and you're just going to kind of hold it and let it sit a minute. So I think I'm just gonna put one little glob of, dab the hot glue here. Maybe that'll hold it enough. Now that the glue is in there is wet, it doesn't want to hold. Yeah, that's better than what it was. So then what you're going to do is you're going to put glue on here, and you need another little piece, just a small piece. You don't need a big piece like this even. But what you're going to do is you're going to run your glue. I'm going to shoot some more glue up under there. And I'm really going to glue this up pretty good. I don't care if it oozes out the sides even. I want to make sure I get it all the way to the edges. And I'm just going to stick this down, leaving myself a good bit of room. I'm going to let that grab a hold. This is the most time-consuming part of the whole thing, is just waiting on some glue to catch. Now, it's caught, so I'm just going to set that aside and let that dry while we work on the rest of our box. So we're going to need our scoreboard again. You're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock, color of your choice, whatever you would like. You need one that's cut at 5 by 4 1/4, and you'll need one that's cut 5 by 5. So on the one that's 5 by 4 1/4, you're going to lay this on the 5-inch side, and we're going to score it. Now this has got 1/8 of an inch because you need it for the lid to fit over the box. So we're going to score it 1 1/8, 2 1/4, 3 3/8, and 4 1/2. Now that's the most difficult part about the whole thing, is just those weird measurements. And when you turn this around, you're just going to score this at 1 1/8, and then 1 1/8 again. So we have that one done. So let's go ahead and do our 5 by 5, and we're going to lay this on the 4 1/2 inch side, and you're going to just score it every inch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And rotate this around to the 5 inch side. You're going to score it 1 inch, and then at 4. Or you can turn around and score it 1 inch. It's up to you. All right. So we have these, and now we're going to make our little boxes. And what we have is we have this 1/4 inch tab right here, and we're going to do the same as we did with our little lipstick. Just going to cut those little rectangles out beside the tab. And you can angle those if you'd like. Don't mind my desk. I've been painting and all kinds of stuff. Now you have this one score line here, and you have these 4 little boxes or squares. You're just going to cut up to that score line. And you can go up, you know, to the past the score line or right up to it. This doesn't really matter. I'm going to do the same thing on the 5 by 5. Do this tab here. And just cut up the score line. Okay. So now you can just fold and burnish your box. On all your square lines. And do this here, these here, and the ends. Okay. I'm going to do the other box while I'm doing all that. Okay, I have a little weird piece there. I'm going to trim that off. Okay, so now again, double-sided tape or wet glue. I'm just going to throw a little wet glue on here right now. And I'm just going to fold that in half and bring that other end over. Burnish that down. Let that dry a second. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Cut my little angles here. I'm just going to fold it in, or you fold your tab down and then fold it in half. There we go. So we have our 2 boxes. So now, whatever one you want to be your top and your bottom and your back and your front. Now this is my seam, so I'm going to have that as my back. Now if you're going to, you know, it's kind of reinforced on the top. So if this is my top, I'm just gonna lay this flat like this, and I'm just gonna cut off maybe about 1/4 inch, and then you can angle these in. I find it easy just to lay my box flat and cut angles, open it up, flatten it the other way, cut my angles. I might just trim off a little bit more. But you don't need a whole lot there. And that's going to be the top. Now for the bottom ones, you want to find which one's going to be your front. So this one's my front. I'm going to bend that out of my way because I don't want to cut that at all. And now you can go in here and trim these and angle cut those if you want. Well, see if I can get a hold of these tabs. Okay, and that's the bottom. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other box. And we have our boxes. Now this would be a good time to double check and make sure everything fits right. These are going to go inside. I'm going to glue those down inside. And I like to do this and just kind of dry fit. And mine fits just fine. So there's what it looks like there. Okay, so now if you want to decorate the panels of your box, now I'm going to go over here and check my little lipstick thing because I see that it has popped up. And you might want to do it periodically to stop and double check it. Okay, so you're going to need some decorative paper of your choice, whatever you want to use. And we're going to work on the big box here. And we can glue these flaps in. It just kind of stabilizes the box. And my glue is clogged up. I'm just going to tuck them inside. Just burnish it around. And then before I close my box up, I'm just going to lay it flat. And I'm going to need to get some designer series paper, like I said, whatever you want to use. And I'll give you a measurement of them here. And these are measuring 7/8 by 2.5. You'll need 4 of those. And then for the small box, you'll need one that's 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I have my pieces there, and that's why I said it's easier to do it while it's flat. I'm just gonna pop them in the middle there. Check my little lipstick thing here again. Kind of give it a little rub. Alright, there I have that one done. So now I know this is my front flap, so I'm going to put these ones down first. Doesn't matter which way you put them. You know, I just like my front to be, you know, like do this and then make sure that's the last one so that the edge is nice. I'm just going to square that up. And you can use your bone folder and now, if you want to decorate the inside of your box, you're more than welcome. I didn't get that fancy. And I'm going to do the same identical thing to this one using my smaller ones. Okay, and we're just going to do it again. How we glued the big one, we're going to glue the small one. Sorry for the train. Nothing I can do about the train. And if you have any hanging over the edges, just take your scissors and just kind of, you know, trim it up. Okay, so there we have those. And those are going to fit together. There's some glue there, just like that. And I really can't tell my back from my front. So that's my front. And that's my front. Okay, so there's my fronts. And then I just used one of those little Velcro dots. Well, you don't have to. You know, that's up to you. And that is completely up to you on how you want to do that. Okay. Now, sometimes there's a clear one, sometimes it's not. I like to put the clear one on the little one. Yeah, I have a clear one here. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to get my big one. I'm just going to take it right off of there. I'm just going to look down in here and I'm going to stick it just kind of center as you can get it. And I'm going to take that clear one, lay it on there, remove that backing. And then I'm going to find the front on the box. And keeping it like pushed back towards the back. You can slide that in there and then push it to the front. And give it a little squeeze and a rub, and then you can just... You might even need your bone folder and you can pop it in there. And then I like to really squish it down, and now that'll stay just like so. So we have that. Oh, and you might want to do a little piece on the top here. And just cut a tiny little square. Matter of factly, you're not really going to see it too much, so I'm just going to use this little tiny piece. You're also going to need a little piece that measures 1/4 inch by about 4 inches, and this was what was left off of it. I'm just going to eyeball it. Like I said, you're not really going to see this too much. Sorry for the clanking. Father-in-law's in the kitchen. Just on the off chance that the edges show a little bit, I'm just going to do it like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so We have our box here. I had a phone call, so I had to take it. Okay, so we have our box, and we have our Velcro in there, and then we have our little lipstick. If you need to take glue and kind of run it around it and shove it up under there, go ahead. It's not going to hurt it, but make sure it's really good and dry before you go cutting on it. And what you're going to do is I'm just going to cut it out here. You know, it's bigger than what it needs it to be. But what we're going to do is if you lay it up like this, and you lay your scissors alongside, just trim it right along the edge. Be fine. And it's pretty much all straight cuts. And it'll be just like that. And then, you know, and that's all there is really to it. Now you have I have a white line around mine because, you know, I use white cardstock. But, you know, I'm not tore up about it if you have some ink that matches, or if you want to hide it. Mine's a little dark for this, but, you know, you could do that and cover up your edges if you want. It might even, you know, you could even ink it a little bit around the edges and kind of give it some definition. Whatever makes you happy. So now all we have left to do is close this bottom part, and I'm just going to do this with a flat, shooting a little hot glue right here. Don't mind that my glue is like yellow. My hot glue gun has been on for hours and days. It just sits on. I'm just lining that up and just, you know, putting that little bit of glue right there. Just like that, and that makes our little lipstick. And then all we gotta do, and I feel like I said, you're not really gonna see that too much because we're gonna add another element. I'm just gonna put some hot glue on it, and I'm just gonna center it up. Making sure I have this flat part towards the front of my box. Just give that a minute to catch. And then you have this little piece here. You know, you can make it the same color as your lipstick. I like to do mine the same color as my box. I'm just going to go on the back side here. And I'm not even going to, you know, you can glue a little bit there. The glue gun is just not acting straight. I'm just going to lay that on the back, close to the bottom. Sorry if you hear the dishwasher going. I had to throw the dishwasher on. And then I'm just going to wrap this around. I'm not even going to glue it. I'm just going to wrap it around. So, and like I said, it you know, it's a little longer than 4 inches. I'm just going to snip that off. I'm just going to wrap it around and match it up. And there you have your lipstick. And you can make these as big or as small as you want. You just have to kind of size it up. And just do that. And then you can even put, you know, like a little bow on there. If I can get my hot glue gun to work. I don't know what is up with it. It's almost like the glue sticks are jammed in there. And you can put a little bow on there if you want. Make it pretty. because if I got something like this, and I wouldn't throw this away, I would have it, you know, sitting on my dresser, or maybe in my bathroom, you know, because it looks like makeup. And I did it for our swap, and I hope my swap partners aren't watching this video, but anyhow, it's a birthday theme swap. So we have to make a purse. So I'm trying to find elements to put in the purse. So as I do them, I'll bring them to you. And so I thought this would be really cute. To, you know, you could even put a tube of lipstick. Maybe it's your best friend's, you know, birthday or something. And I totally put that on the wrong way, but it don't matter. You know, maybe you have a tube of lipstick you want to put in there. You might have to make it a little bit bigger, because this, like this here, this little lip gloss is just a bit too high. But it doesn't really matter. You could do it this way, and then just put your Velcro, if you put it on the right side, and just put your Velcro up there a little higher. Who said, you know, lipsticks come in all different shapes and sizes and designs. Maybe that could be your design element. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and hope you like that new gift box idea of how you can dress up a little bit of lip balm for your friend or your whomever. If you're doing a swap or something. Alright guys, I am going to get out of here and see about working on something else, or clean the house. I think I need to clean. Still waiting on my job to take off. They're doing the background check. We had a hassle with the background check because the boss was clicking the wrong button and wasn't submitting it properly, and they finally figured out where it was going wrong. They're like, I had all the forms filled out properly. I had all my, you know, I's dotted, my T's crossed, and that. So they said, all right, well, it's something on our end, and he was using the wrong button. He was sending it somewhere else. I don't know where he was sending it. But they finally got it, so it's pending. So I'm hoping to hear from him here in the next few days and proceed from there, because I know my background check is fine. Alright guys, y'all take care, stay safe out there. Remember, I love each and every one of you. Hit that like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. Maybe somebody, you know, would like to make a couple of gift boxes. Alright guys, yeah. Oh, and on this one here, I did make this a little wider, and this one's a little thinner. It's all up to you. Just do you and make you up some. Alright guys, take care. Bye.